400 kilograms of highly enriched uranium, enough to make 10 nuclear bombs, has gone missing from Iran. Yes, missing. This isn't a plot from a geopolitical thriller film. This is real, and the implications are terrifying. But before we jump into what's happening, let's take some time to understand what is uranium. Uranium is a naturally occurring metal found in the Earth's crust. It's mined in countries like Australia, Kazakhstan, and Canada. But on its own, it's not dangerous. But what makes it dangerous is enrichment, a process that increases the proportion of the isotope U-235, which is what needed to sustain a nuclear chain reaction. Low enriched uranium, that's used in nuclear power plants. Highly enriched uranium, especially above 60%, is used to make nuclear bombs. Now let's come back to what's happening now. Last week, the United States launched a full-scale airstrike on Iran's most secretive nuclear facilities, Fordow, Isfahan, and Natanz. Stealth bombers, bunker bursters, satellite guided weapons. It was one of the most aggressive acts of military deterrence since the Cold War. President Trump called it a total success. He said Iran's nuclear dream has been completely obliterated. But here is what's really happening, and you need to hear this. Satellite images taken just before the strike showed dozens of trucks moving something out of this nuclear site. Those trucks vanished before the bombing began. And now, intelligence insiders confirm what everyone feared. Iran moved 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium to a secret, fortified, undisclosed location, possibly somewhere even deeper underground, possibly somewhere. We can't find out. That's not just a loss, that's a nuclear blind spot. Because with that quantity, they are dangerously close to weapons grade capability. 90% is the threshold, and enrichment from 60% to 90%, that's not years, that's weeks. So how much is 400 kilograms? Let me put it in this way. We need 40 to 50 kg of highly enriched uranium to make one bomb. Iran now has 10 times that amount off the radar. And that raises the biggest question of all. Did Iran know the strike was coming? Their statements suggest so. Their evacuation looks planned. Their damage controlled. And some analysts believe even the most sensitive facilities like Isfahan's research reactors were left untouched. Why? We don't know. Now remember this. This isn't the first time the world has tried to slow Iran's nuclear progress. But Iran always came back stronger, smarter, and this time more dangerous. Because now they have suspended cooperation with the UN's nuclear watchdog, the IAEA. No more snap inspections, no more oversight. And if Iran withdraws from the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, the global agreement that keeps countries from building nuclear bombs, then we are truly flying blind. And that's not just a Middle East problem, that's a world problem. Because once you lose visibility on nuclear material, you lose control. You can't verify, you can't monitor, you can't prevent what will happen next. Now here is what that gets even more terrifying. After the strike, Iran retaliated by launching missiles at a US military base in Qatar. Israel is on full alert. The Gulf is bracing for escalation, and the fragile ceasefire brokered between Iran and Israel, that's hanging by a thread. So let me ask you, do you think this ends here? Because I don't think so. I think we have just entered a new chapter in global security, one where nuclear material goes missing, inspections get cancelled, and diplomacy is replaced by drone footage and debris. And in the middle of this chaos, the world is divided. America calls it a preemptive strike. Russia and China call it aggression. The United Nations is pleading for de-escalation. But there is one truth everyone agrees on, that 400 kilograms of uranium could change everything. In the wrong hands, it's not a stockpile, it's a signal. A signal that the nuclear era is not behind us, it's just begun again. So watch this space, watch it closely. Because the uranium may be hidden, but the consequences, they will be impossible to miss.